Hi and welcome to Dave Barlow Guitar, and in this video we're going to be talking about this guitar.
Roll up, my friends. The show that won't start before it ends.
Anyway, this guitar is a Marlin. Have you ever heard of Marlin guitars? Well, some people have, some people haven't, right? Let's first go into the details of this guitar, where it was built, how it was built, when it was built, all that kind of stuff. Let's have a quick squiz at that first before we go any further.
The guitar that we have here is a Marlin K34 Sidewinder, and it says here that it was distributed by a Welsh distributor called British Music Strings Limited. They were originally made in East Germany, these guitars, just before, for a short period in 1985, before being contracted out to Samick in 1986. So if you've got the German model, they're saying here it's called a Slammer. If it's not a Slammer, it was made at the Samick factory. Yeah, details on this website here, fandom.com wiki Marlin, samick.fandom. Now this was the best-selling guitar in 1986. Hang on, Samick makes already selling the best-selling guitar in the UK in 1986, and it held that status till 1988 before being finally overtaken by the Korean Squire. Yeah, okay, so what does the K34? Let's have a look. This is the K34. This is the one we've got with the dodgy Trem. Commanded a retail price of £150 in 1988. Blimey. But you know, a pretty reasonable guitar at its time. To be honest, you know, obviously I've played it, and you know the pickups are pretty awful. The trem was pretty awful. The tuning pegs were, the machine heads were like, you know, pretty awful stroke okay-ish, but but there you go. But they weren't. I mean, at the time they weren't a bad guitar, especially for beginners and people like that, I would say. Okay, so if you think I'm wrong, you know, comments in the bottom. Anyway, let's crack on.
Right, now here's the thing. I've seen a couple of Marlins over the past 6 months come in, and usually they're in, well, this is in great condition now because I've cleaned it up and stuff, but usually they're in pretty poor condition. Pretty poor condition. I mean, obviously you can pick these guitars up really cheap, 20 quid, 30 quid, up to 80 quid, maybe a bit more, but they have a little bit of a problem on some of them. This particular model. And I'm going to show you what it is. On these guitars, they have their own trem type system, which I'll show you in detail. Looks a bit like that. Everything else is how you'd expect a locking trem to be, except for the bridge. The bridge is specific to Marlin. You cannot buy parts for this or anything like that. Anyway, so now the block, which is fixed like this, and every Marlin I've seen over the last 6 months, which are all right, fair enough, only 2 or 3 of them, all have the same issue. Whereas this block, the metal is crumbling away and breaks, because Marlin's trem is unique. You cannot retrofit another trem onto the existing post holes that I know of, which renders this guitar completely effing useless, which is a shame because they're great little guitars. Anyway, so what I thought I'd do is I thought, well, hey, let's in the name of recycling and bringing old guitars back to the fore, let's retrofit something. The nearest I could find that I think would work, I mean, is one of these. This is a Fender Trem block. The thing is, I thought about using a traditional one, but the problem is it'll be too low in the body. It'll sit way too low in the body. It might work. Actually, looking at it, it might work, but that might have been an easier way out of it. But I've decided to go with what was in there before, which was like a two-post style trem, because some people prefer them. Plus, I'd have more control over the height, because I just think that might be just a little bit low, like that. So the only problem with that is that obviously you got a little bit of a gaping hole at the back there. I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet. I don't know. I'll think of something. But so basically, what we're going to do is we're going to drill two new holes in this guitar, measure it all up, put 2 new holes in the guitar, and get this guitar back up and running as if it was brand new, but with a different trem. I've measured everything, so in the back it all fits, and I'm going to have to take some wood. I'm going to have to take some timber off here, and I'm going to do that. Now, I could completely mess this guitar up. It's possible. But why not? Why not? Because when I'm finished, it's going to be a cracking little guitar. Which is going to look a bit odd like that, but it's going to be a cracking guitar. Anyway, so the thing is, in my workshop, I don't have like woodworking kind of facilities in my workshop, so I can't, like, I can fix neck breaks and stuff like that, but I can't do massive. I don't have routers and all that kind of stuff in my workshop. So everything we do on this is going to be done. It's going to be done pretty much by sight and by hand, and so therefore can be done by anybody with minimal tools at home. So if you got one of these Sidewinders, and I know some, and you think, oh well, who do you know who's got one? In fact, I know 2 people, because I saw one of them the other month that bought the guitar in, and sadly I turned him away because I couldn't help him. But maybe this might help some people that have this problem. But anyway, and I'll tell you where I get the parts for and everything, where I get the parts for this at the end, because this part here, this whole trem, I got for about £20. Not on eBay though, because I didn't like the eBay ones. But I got this for £20 in the UK, so that might interest you as well. So with the springs and the posts and everything. So let's crack on with that. Do that job, and you can follow me if you like and hear the sound bites at the end as well. We'll take it through its paces, see what these guitars actually sound like. If I remember rightly, they sounded pretty good. They sounded pretty good. I mean, they were the answer to it. Was like Eddie Van Halen, here we come, So let's have a crack at it, see what happens, see if we can get away with it. Okay, so first things first. As you can see, I've got this kind of dry fitted. As you can see, the distance between the bridge. Where the bridge is where the saddles are at the moment, and the mounts for the trem, these here, are the same distance apart. So that means bear with me. That means that in order to get this bridge further forward, we're going to have to take some of this off here. There's no way about it. So I'm going to do that with a Dremel. But before I do that, I'm going to mark out how far this way or this way it's up or down we need to go to get it central. And I'm going to work off these existing posts, because if you look at this, it's all really quite symmetrical. So technically I should be able to get a measurement from this post to this post, and then if I'm out, and as long as I get that right and strings are in the right place, I've got a little bit of wiggle room here for this post. There we go. Told you this is going to be very archaic and DIY-ish, and I'm kind of, you know, working it out as I go along, because that's how I like to do these things. I'm going to use one of these. I don't know if you've seen these before. I can't remember what they're called. Some kind of auger things, so I can trim off some of this excess wood. So, you know, I'm not doing this freehand. If you can see, just here, there's a ridge. Can you see that little ridge? I'm just going to follow that ridge. Just take that off. So it kind of looks like I'm hacking away at the guitar, but I'm actually not. I'm just going to follow that ridge, and I won't do any damage that way. Okay, right, I've got it where I want it. Yeah, that is slap bang in the center. Problem is, when you drill it, when you drill it, you got to make sure you get that slap bang right as well, otherwise it will shift one way or the other. I just got to double check if I need to move it back a bit, so I'm going to do that and then come back. I'm pretty much committed to that's the position that it needs to be in. So I'm just going to just tape it up a bit more. Stop it from moving around. I don't want it to move around. I'm going to get it one last check. Make sure everything's in the right place. So I see them do this in the Gibson custom factory, where they bradle a hole first before they drill it. That way. I know it's pretty as centre as it's going to be. And I'm going to put this one kind of here. That's it, I've committed myself now. Thing is, 20 quid guitar. I mean, you don't want to junk it, do you? I mean, you don't want to get it wrong. I think that a lot of people don't take on these kind of jobs because, you know, maybe they think it's too difficult. But I mean, look at the tools I'm using. I mean, I'm using a bit of string, a bradle, and my eyes to do this. Yeah, I suppose I could have got some proper woodworking tools in and done that, but then what's the point of that? This is for people that haven't got any specialist tools. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to drill it out now. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a smaller drill, and I'm going to attempt to drill a straight hole, a level hole. So just going to take my time, go really slow. Hope I get this right. Okay, so I want to get near, I want to sort of measure the stud, so we see what kind of measurement we got here, which is 8.8 mil. Oh, that's clever. So nearest I got is 8.5. So it'll be an 8.5, and we'll just see from there. But we're going to start smaller and just work our way up and just keep trying this in the hole. Because, you know, and this wood is like, I don't know, kind of softish. So even though you're going to use, say, an 8.5 drill bit, that drill bit might open this up to 8.7. So I'm going to just take my time and just step up slowly with drill bits and just do everything slow. Many little taps is better than one big tap. The other thing is, I don't want these holes too tight either, because I could split the wood. So I got to go real careful. Okay, we're in. That's it. Let's get the trem on and see if we've fitted it properly, because if we haven't, that's the end of this guitar. Getting there. Okay, let's just double check the measurements. I'm just going to double check with my piece of string that nothing's gone astray. That's good, man. That's good too. We're squids in. We won't be far out on the intonation either, because that's pretty much bang on where he was before. So I'm quite happy about that. We might have to move them back a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. So let's we need to set this trem up, because it needs to be a little bit higher, so it's got loads of movement in it. What do we need to do? Yeah, we need to get rid of this. Some stuff on here we don't need anymore now. We don't need the locking. We don't need the locking nut, which is separate from the nut, so that makes our life pretty easy. And we don't need this retaining, the string retainer either. I'm pretty happy that the strings are going to have enough rake angle or break angle, whichever way you want to call it, to string up properly. So I think we're ready to string this up. See what happens. Okay, trem's on. It's all strung up. Needs setting up. I need to set it up before I start playing it. We'll do a set up and then we'll just do some sound bites. See what we got. Okay, sound check time. So yeah, this is. What does that do? Oh, I don't know. Hang on. Right. So, having a bad hair day. Sound check time. Listen, before we start, look, I've hurt my finger. Can you see that? Right. I know it's only a little cut, right? But when you're playing, it just it really hurts. So I'm trying to get it to heal because I'm supposed to be doing all the lead guitar parts for the latest single that we got coming out, and they're just waiting for me, waiting for my finger to heal so I can do them, and then we'll release it. Can you believe that? The release date is behind because of my finger cut. My cut on my finger. Fuck's sake. Okay, so it's sound check time. This is a Marlin Sidewinder. It's like 1985 vintage. And yeah. So we changed a few. Well, anyway, we changed this. So anyway, so sound check. So G chord, I suppose. Okay, so very thick sounding, woolly-ish to my ears. Pickup humbucker in the bridge. It's got a coil tap just here. So let's try it with a coil tap. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I suppose coil tap humbucker, middle position. Okay. Middle position. Middle position and neck. I'm pushing on the strings. It's making a funny noise. That's me. Just not used to this kind of setup, I suppose. Neck. What is that noise? It's me. I'm pushing too hard. I'll do it again, right? I can see what I'm doing. Right. Just for a record, right? See that middle pickup there? I never play guitars with middle pickups on them because of that reason. Because for some reason I don't know what I'm doing, but when I'm pushing, when I'm quietening the strings down, I'm pushing on that middle position pickup. So what am I going to do about it? I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Check this out. I'm going to do this. Right. That's funny, isn't it? And let me drop this pickup down. I love that. Right, anyway. Let's try it again. See if it happens now. There you go. Whoa. Let me just do the bridge. I bet that's well out of tune now. Oh, it's not actually. Well, do you know what? I gotta be honest with you. I think, you know, doing that and it still being in tune must be because it fell on its feet. That's the only reason why that is. But other than that, it's been good fun doing this, albeit rather pointless. But this guitar is a good mate of mine. Owns this guitar, Andy, and he's done lots of great things for me, so I'm returning the favour for him. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I had a bit of fun doing it, a bit of a laugh as well, and you know, like, comments in the bottom, all that kind of stuff. Share if you want to, and I will catch you later.